So in example number 3, on page number 13, so we have f of x is equal to x squared minus 7x plus 12 over x squared minus 6x plus 8. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is to find the horizontal asymptote. Okay, so ito yung mga bagay na kailangan nating hanapin. Horizontal asymptote, vertical asymptote, the X intercept, the Y intercept, the domain, the range, the table of values para maiplat natin siya sa Cartesian coordinate plane. So let's try to solve for the horizontal asymptote. Okay, so again, sa paghahanap ng horizontal asymptote, you need to consider the degree. Okay, so again, in finding the horizontal asymptote, you need to consider the degree and consider the three conditions. So what are those three conditions? Kung ang degree ni numerator is less than the degree ni denominator, then your horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 0. Okay, second condition, if the degree of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, then your horizontal asymptote y is equal to a sub n over a sub d. So, ano yung a sub n, ano yung a sub d? So, this a sub n is the numerical coefficient or the leading coefficient of the numerator, and yung a sub d, that is the leading coefficient of the denominator. Okay, so next condition. So, if the numerator is greater than the degree of the denominator, then there is no horizontal asymptote. So, these are the three conditions na kailangan nating i-consider sa paghahanap ng horizontal asymptote. So, given this rational function, so f of x is equal to x squared minus 7x plus 12 over x squared minus 6x plus 8, check natin yung degree. Ang numerator ko, ang degree niya is 2, or nasa second degree siya. Okay? Ang denominator ko is nasa second degree din. So, nag-fall siya under n is equal to d. Okay, so again, ang numerator ko is second degree, ang denominator ko is second degree din, so nag-fall siya under n is equal to d. So kapag doon siya nag-fall, paano natin nahanapin ang horizontal asymptote? Sabi po, kapag n is equal to d, your horizontal asymptote y is equal to the numerical coefficient. Okay, so the numerical coefficient of the numerator, the leading coefficient of the numerator over the leading coefficient of the denominator. So, meron tong 1, meron din naman pong 1 yan. So, the leading coefficient of the numerator is 1 over the leading coefficient of our denominator is 1. So, now, the horizontal asymptote, 1 divided by 1 is 1. So, this is our horizontal asymptote. Okay, so again, our horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 1. Okay, so next, vertical asymptote. So in solving vertical asymptote, kailangan muna nating i-simplify itong rational function natin. Okay? So, kailangan nating i-simplify yung rational function and solve for the zeros of the denominator. So, yung rational function natin ay pwede kong i-simplify since yung numerator ko is factorable as well as the denominator. So, ano yung factor ni numerator? So, paano ba tayo nag-factor? So, sa numerator, mag-isip ng dalawang number na kapag pinag-multiply, ang sagot is positive 12 at kapag pinag-add, ang sagot ay negative 7. Again, dalawang number na kapag pinag-multiply, ang sagot is positive 12 at pag pinag-add, ang sagot ay negative 7. Okay, so that is negative 3 and negative 4. So, negative 3 multiplied by negative 4 is positive 12. Negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. Therefore, the factor of this trinomial is x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 4. Okay, so next, yung denominator natin is factorable. Mag-isip ulit ng dalawang number na kapag pinag-multiply, ang sagot naman ay 8. At kapag pinag-add, ang sagot ay yung second term or negative 6. Okay, so that is negative 4 and negative 2. So, negative 4 multiplied by negative 2 is positive 8. Negative 2 plus negative 4 is negative 6. Okay, so next, pwede kong i-cancel si x minus 4. So, since common factor naman sila, pwede ko siyang i-cancel. So, kapag sinimplify natin itong given rational function, that will be x minus 3 over x minus 2. Okay. So, ano na nangyari dito sa common factor na to? So, kung maaalala nyo, kapag meron tayong common factor, dito papasok si removable discontinuity. Okay? So, sa removable discontinuity, kukunin ang zeros ni common factor. So, x minus 4, since ito ang common factor, equal to 0. And from negative 4, it will become positive 4. Okay, so now, this is our removable discontinuity. So, para saan ang removable discontinuity? Ito yung kapag ginraph natin, ito yung whole nyo. Okay, so again, the value of our removable discontinuity is x is equal to 4. Ito yung magsaserve as whole or butas. Okay. So, next, vertical asymptote. So, na-simplify na natin itong given rational function. So, in solving vertical asymptote, kunin ang zeros ni denominator. So, kunin si denominator. So, for vertical asymptote, kunin si denominator, which is x minus 2 equal to 0, and solve for the value of x. So, using addition property of equality, from negative 2, it will become positive 2. So, the value of our vertical asymptote is positive 2. Again, our vertical asymptote is x is equal to positive 2. Okay, so next, we're going to find the X Intercept. Again, in finding the X Intercept, solve for the value of x where y is equal to 0. So, substitute na lang natin yung value ni y, which is 0. Again, f of x is also equal to y. Okay? So, y is 0. So, that is 0 is equal to x minus 3 over x minus 2. Okay. So, next, pwede ako ditong mag-cross multiply or cross multiplication. So, 0 multiplied by x minus 2 is 0. So, that is equal to 1 multiplied by x minus 3 is x minus 3. Okay, so again, x lang yung kailangan ko. So, from negative 3, it will become positive 3 is equal to x, or our x now is equal to positive 3. Okay, so the X intercept is, ano yung value ni x? So, that is 3. And yung value ni y, which is 0. Again, the X intercept is kung ano yung nakuha nating value ni x, which is 3, at yung value ni y, which is 0. So, our X intercept now is 3 and 0. So, how about the Y intercept? Okay, so for the Y intercept, solve for Y where X is equal to 0. So, substitute ko lang yung value ni x, which is 0, dito sa given function. So, that is y is equal to 0 minus 3 over 0 minus 2. Okay, so that is equal to y. Y is equal to 0 minus 3 is negative 3 over 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Okay, so negative 3 divided by negative 2. So negative divided by negative, the answer is positive. So y is equal to positive 3 over 2. So we're looking for the y-intercept. So ordered pair. So the value of our y-intercept is x is 0 and y, which is 3 over 2. Again, our y-intercept is 0 and 3 over 2. So ngayon naman, magsiset na tayo ng table of values. Magsiset na tayo ng values ni x to find the value of y. Okay, so again, paano ba tayo magsiset ng table of values? Lagi nating igigitna yung restriction or yung vertical asymptote. Okay, so again, sa value ni x, lagi nating igigitna si vertical asymptote. Okay, so we have 2. And next is bilang pakaliwa at bilang pakanan. So 2, 1, 0, and negative 1. So, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, and positive 5. Okay, so next. Sabi natin, restriction na natin si 2 because that is your vertical asymptote. At kapag sinubstitute kasi natin itong 2 na to dun sa given rational function, that is already undefined. Because that is your restriction, that is your limitation, that is your boundary. Okay, so let's try to solve for the values of y. So if x is equal to negative 1, so just substitute the value of x, which is negative 1, dito na lang sa function na nasimplify na natin. Okay, so that is y is equal to negative 1 minus 3 over negative 1 minus 2. So that is equal to negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4 over negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. So this negative 4 over negative 3 is equal to, okay, so sa pagkuha ng value ni y, okay na din kahit decimal. So, mas madali ang mag-plot ng points kapag naka-decimal. Okay, so this negative 4 over negative 3 is equal to 1.33. So, the value of our y is 1.33. Okay, so next. What will be the value of our y if x is equal to 0? So again, just substitute the value of x. So that will become 0 minus 3 over 0 minus 2. Okay, so 0 minus 3 is negative 3 and 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So, negative 3 over negative 2 is equal to positive 1.5. So, the value of our y is 1.5. So, now, what if the value of our x is 1? So, again, substitute the value of x, which is 1. So, 1 minus 3 over 1 minus 2. So, that is equal to 1 minus 3 is negative 2 over 1 minus 2 is negative 1 and negative 2 over negative 1 is positive 2. So, the value of our y is positive 2. So, again, if the value of x is 2, that is undefined. So, kung sakaling isa-substitute ko si 2 dito sa denominator pa lang, so 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So, there is a rule pagdating sa fraction that the denominator should not be equal to 0. So, that is undefined. So, now, what if the value of our x is 3? So, actually, na-solve na natin siya kanina. If the value of our x is 3, then the value of our y is 0. So, that is the X Intercept. So, now, what if the value of our x is 4? Substitute the value of our x. So, that is 4 minus 3 over 4 minus 2. So, that is positive 1 over 4 minus 2 is 2. So, that is equal to 0.5. So, if the value of our x is 5, so substitute the value of x, which is 5. So, 5 minus 3 over 5 minus 2 is equal to 2 over 3, or 0.67. So, the value of our y is 0.67. Okay, so once na meron ka na nitong table of values, horizontal asymptote, vertical asymptote, X intercept, Y intercept, and the removable discontinuity, pwede na natin siyang i-plot sa Cartesian coordinate plane. Okay, so sa pagpa-plot sa Cartesian coordinate plane, ang kailangan nating unahin is yung restriction or yung asymptotes, horizontal and vertical asymptotes. So, for the horizontal asymptotes, ang sabi dyan, the value of our horizontal asymptotes is y is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, sa y-axis, this is our y-axis. Okay, so this is our y-axis. Hanapin si y is equal to 1. At iyon ang magsisilbing asymptote boundary or restriction mo. Okay? So, next, the vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote, x is equal to 2. So, sa x-axis, hanapin si positive 2. At ito yung magsisilbing asymptote mo. So, bakit kailangan nating unahin yung pagpa-plot ng asymptotes, the horizontal and vertical asymptotes? Kasi itong asymptotes na to, ito yung magsisilbing guide kung saang direksyon ba dapat pumunta yung graph mo. Okay? So, ito yung magsisilbing boundary. Ito yung nagsasabi na bawal kang lumagpas dito. Bawal kang mag-touch dito sa line na to. Okay? So, if x is negative 1, then the value of y is 1.33. So, again, x is negative 1. And the value of our y is 1.33. So, nandito po siya. X is 0. So, ang x ko ay 0. And the value of our y is 1.5. Okay, so next, if x is 1, then the value of y is positive 2. Okay. So, again, ito yung magsisilbing guide mo. So, kung ano bang direction pupunta ang graph. So, kung sakaling i-connect na natin, kapag kinonnect mo na itong mga points na to, so, palapit lang siya ng palapit, pero hindi siya nagtagpo. Okay, so next. If the value of our x is 3. Okay, so if the value of our x is 3, then y is 0. So, hanapin sa x-axis si positive 3 and hanapin sa y-axis si 0. So, nandito lang po siya sa mismong x-axis. Okay, so if our x is equal to 4, then the value of y is 0.5. 5. So, positive 4 and positive 0.5. Pero sinabi natin kanina that our removable discontinuity is x is equal to 4. So again, ang removable discontinuity, ito yung magsisilbing butas or hole. So instead of shaded, open circle po tayo. Okay, so next. If the value of x is 5, then the value of y is 0.67. So positive 5 and positive 0.67. Then connect the points. So palapit lang siya ng palapit kay asymptote, pero hindi nagtatagpo. Okay. So ganito yung magiging itsura ng graph natin. Butas si 4. So bakit butas si 4? Kasi po, yun ang ating removable discontinuity. Okay? So, again, that is the values of horizontal asymptote, vertical asymptote, X intercept, Y intercept, table of values, the removable discontinuity, and now,